There we go.
Hey y'all, I know a lot of y'all have been wondering where the Luna videos have been for like the past 3 months. Well, I started out this series hoping to be able to film with her at least once a week and post regular updates, as well as give y'all training videos and how-tos, and that was just unrealistic for me because I'm a college student and at one point in this semester had 4 horses to train at the same time. So I didn't really have anyone around to film for me most of the time, and so I didn't get as much content as I'd hoped, and I didn't get enough time to edit that content. But I figured I'd go back and post at least some of the videos I got over the past 3 months. What you're seeing now is the yo-yo exercise with Luna. This is just to get her soft to the halter. This was on about day 2 or 3 of training her, and we're working on giving to pull pressure. I don't let up until she gives to it and takes steps towards me. And then once she comes in, I ask her to back out of my space again with a little wiggle on the rope. This is just something I do a little bit to help horses learn to give to halter pressure. So this was, I believe, Luna's second time ever getting into the trailer. This was never an issue for her, never really something I had to train. I just kind of made it not a big deal at all, and she realized it wasn't a big deal and was able to get in and back out of the trailer very easily. This was the second day of training after I picked her up from the Bureau of Land Management. So these are some desensitizing exercises that I do with all my horses. They need to be very comfortable with all the tools that I use, and especially comfortable with ropes moving all around, touching their legs, being thrown over their back, just being moved around their whole bodies, because we use ropes working with horses every single day. And it also helps for them to be comfortable to touch. I definitely don't want to touch any areas that might get me kicked with my hand first. I'm going to go in with my rope or my stick first to make sure she's okay with me making contact there before I put myself in a vulnerable position of touching those things myself.
Oh, get a little close over here. I'm not getting you, am I? No, not yet. Okay. Forget.
So later that day, I got on my roommate's horse, Goose, and I started teaching Luna how to pony. There was no real resistance from her about this. She never really put up a fuss. The reason I teach horses to pony, though, is it gets them started seeing you above them and gets them to start taking directions while you're in a different position, so that when you get to riding them, they're not completely freaked out by you being above them and they sort of know what's going on. So here you'll see I'm desensitizing Luna to a pair of jeans. She really doesn't like it first, so I kind of take some of the pressure off. I'm still moving my arm, still flapping the jeans, but I'm, finding a starting point where she's going to be comfortable with. Once she stands still and relaxes to what I'm doing, I stop and I take the pressure off. So when she moves, I don't necessarily try and keep her in the same spot. I just keep doing what I'm doing until she stops moving, calms down, and relaxes, and then I can take the pressure away. All the desensitizing videos I took that day, I took on the left side of her body, but it's important to remember that you have to desensitize both sides of your horse's body. So here's some videos of Luna's first time standing tied. I prepared her for this by teaching her how to yield to pull pressure, and then I eventually tied her to a wooden post that's very solid and set in cement so it won't give. You can see she's really antsy the first time I ever tied her up, and she ends up setting back. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I know it looks pretty ugly, but you can't really untie them or help them in any way when they're setting back. You just have to let them work and think through it. She's still leaning on the halter, but eventually she realizes that if she takes a step forward and gives, that pressure is released. I left her there for about 3 hours standing tied, and when I came back, she had just about fallen asleep and was standing nice and completely quiet. So I expect them to stand quiet from the very beginning. Here's another clip of her just about falling asleep. When you teach them to be quiet from the very beginning, you'll never have a problem down the road with a horse having issues tying. So these are pretty much all the videos I got from week 1 of working with Luna. If you'd like to see more Luna videos, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more updates on Luna this week. Thanks for watching.